Morning. Hi, everybody, and happy Monday. I hope that you guys have all had a wonderful weekend. And I'm sorry I missed you guys. Oh, hi, Katie. Good morning. I missed you guys this last week, so I'm sorry that I didn't get to do lives and a little chat with you. The latter half of last week, I actually ended up going skiing, which, you know, is always a good thing. And we'll definitely have to talk about that because I went with my boyfriend, Francisco, and it was his first time skiing. So there are definitely some lessons learned from that. But to jump in this morning, welcome to Monday. I hope you're all starting your week off on the right foot. It's a little chilly outside today here in Dallas. And for those of you joining for the first time, I'm Julian Lever, and I am the owner of the Dapper Diplomat. And here on Dapper Dossier, we just take a few minutes out of your day. Hi, Laura. Thank you for joining. I know I missed you too, but we're back. We're good. Again, it's good. And so just taking a few minutes out of every day to chat through a pro tip on networking or communication or public speaking that you can take today and put into action. So we're just going to dive right in this morning because this is really one of my favorite topics. So I'm just going to read a little bit and then we'll discuss. So, do you get nervous at networking events? Okay, everyone, please raise your hand. All right. Does the thought of having to connect with people outside your immediate group give you heart palpitations? Don't worry, you're not alone. All right, right here, pot, kettle. While building bridges is one of the most important aspects in professional life, it doesn't mean that it comes easy to everyone. Right? So it doesn't come easy to everyone. So we are going to talk about the first step in networking today, and that is have a plan. Okay? So the first step is just have a plan for any networking event that you're going to go to, right? So not having a plan is like baking a cake without a recipe. Baking, as opposed to cooking, is truly a science, and winging it is not something any pastry chef would recommend. Why go into a networking event the same way? It's time to start treating it like a science and having a plan of what you want to accomplish going in. What you want to accomplish going in, right? With a plan, you can enter, take action, and achieve measurable results quickly and possibly painlessly, depending on your target, right? So this morning, if you're just joining, hi, and we are talking a little bit about networking, right? And what the first thing that you need to do with networking is to have a plan, and that it's like a science, right? And, you know, I was in Colorado this past week and weekend, and I was trying to do some baking, okay? And in Colorado, the elevation is drastically different than it is in Texas. And so in the morning, I was trying to make these really great cinnamon rolls, right? And I was really excited about them. I thought, okay, this is a great plan, and I'm just gonna follow the directions and da-da-da-da. Well, halfway through baking them, one of our housemates woke up and was like, oh my God, Julian, do you remember that here in Colorado, the elevation is different, and so it's going to take longer to bake your, what you're baking. And I know, right? I love cinnamon rolls too also. But it's going to take longer. And so I didn't have a plan going in. And so they ended up taking longer, and everything turned out okay, but they would have been better if I had had a plan. And I feel like this is the same way that networking goes, right? Like generally, if you don't have a plan, you can kind of go to a networking event and and it works itself out, right? Like you kind of meet someone and maybe you're going to make the right connection and there might be something really good that comes out of it, or really there might not. It's kind of hit or miss. And so what I want you to do today, maybe you have a networking event to go to this evening, but what you can do is really have a plan. Like first you need to ask yourself, why are you there, right? Like, why are you going? Are you going just to see and be seen? Are you going for a very specific reason to meet a specific person? Are you going because it's somewhere new and you would like to introduce your business to someone who is outside of your circle, right? So what is your intention? Set your intention before you go, right? Now, number two is really about, well, we're going to talk about some of the other things that it's about later, or what it's not about. But what it is about is it is about having kind of a goal for your networking in mind, right? If it's a new situation, maybe you just say, I'm going to meet one new connection who can actually help me, okay? Or one new connection who is relevant to my business. And so you're going to step outside your comfort zone to be able to find that connection, right? Or if you are going to a networking event that you go to all the time, and maybe it's become a little bit stiff, or you're not getting as much out of it as you used to, then maybe what you need to do is you need to figure out that there's one specific person there and go to that person and have that conversation right away, right? Don't dilly-dally. Don't do the other things that we're going to talk about later not to do, but just go to that person and achieve the goal that you set out for yourself, right? So you have to have an intention, okay? So that's really the most important first thing, right? And then the second thing that we're really going to talk about is your motive, right? Like why are you there? What is the motivation? Okay. And I will say over the last almost 4 years now, I have really tried to reduce the amount of networking that I do so that it is really reflective of the way and the direction that my business is going, right? So I go in with a plan and I have an intention set out, right? But I'm also constantly reminding myself of my motivation and why I am doing said event, right? Because we weigh every single day all of these different choices in terms of what we can spend our time on. And our time is by far the most precious gift that we have. And so we really shouldn't spend it unwisely, right? So if you can figure out your intention and then check your motivation so that you can spend your time wisely doing exactly what you need to do, then you are in great shape for your plan. So I challenge you all to go out today and enjoy the day, first of all, and go to that networking event, or don't, honestly, because if you are going to a networking event this evening and you check your intention and maybe it's not quite right, and you check your motivation and you say, you know what, this is not right for me. The other great thing about networking is that you can say no. You can bow out. You can gracefully let the host know that you're not going to be attending. So I just really recommend to do those two things, right? Set your intention and check your motivation. And then just see how your networking event goes today. And maybe we can talk a little bit about it tomorrow. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad you guys are all back. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And I will see you all tomorrow morning, bright and early. So happy Monday, everybody. Take care. Bye. Bye, everybody.